In today's video, I want to talk about how your beliefs are actually more important than the reality and then the so-called truth. And I know this can be very abstract to some of you, but some of you will understand. So let me explain what I mean by that. When I say that your beliefs are more important than what it actually is in your reality, this is what I mean. So we know by now, or you would hear that your beliefs create your reality. So it all depends on what you believe in. That will guide your actions and your behaviors, and your behaviors and actions will create your reality, essentially, right? We all know that, we all understand that. So that's why it is more important to be aware of what you believe than what is actually truth. And let me explain. If you, for example, don't believe that you are a good public speaker, or that you are not good with social events, or you are not good with people, or you are just literally not good at something, you will prove to yourself to be right over and over again. So that doesn't mean that you are not that, right? It's not all about your identity. It's all about what you believe. And essentially, you will prove to yourself to be right. If you believe that you are the best speaker in the world, the best entertainer in the world, essentially and eventually you will prove to yourself that that is true, because your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what you say you believe and what is the actual truth. Okay? And for some of you, this might be really hard to grasp, because if you're going to be thinking like, okay, what if I believe that I am a millionaire? So why don't I wake up the next day and find millions on my bank account? Because you have to actually believe that. It is not about some affirmations. It is not about something that you just say like, oh yeah, I believe that, but you don't actually believe that even in your subconscious mind. You might say that you believe that in your conscious mind, right? You might be repeating that over and over again and say, yes, this is what I want, this is what I really truly believe. But if your subconscious mind thinks that that's not true, or that's not safe in one way or another, you are not going to be able to bypass that. That's why I'm always repeating that, and it just makes sense that I'm repeating that, because this is my work, that the subconscious mind is more important than the conscious mind, because it drives 95% of your behavior. It is driving your breathing, your heart pumping, the blood pumping, everything in our body that is happening automatically. It's driven by the subconscious mind. But not only that, also our beliefs, also our conscious behavior is driven by the subconscious mind. So that is why it's important to actually work with the subconscious mind and to rewire it, as I am talking over and over and again, because there are programs that are not up to date, right? It's the same as with your, let's say, computer. Every now and again, or your phone, every now and again, you have to update and upgrade your system in order to function properly. That's why some of us find ourselves operating in the same system years and years ago, because the programs that were put in our mind are all the way from the childhood, because this is when our subconscious mind was the most suggestible, when we were just taking all the information in. We were literally like a sponge and taking all the information, taking it as the truth, and literally shaping our life, shaping our identity, shaping our destiny based on those beliefs. And if you are now older, just don't lose your hope. Obviously, you can rewire your subconscious mind at any age, but it was just more moldable, and it is very possible, the possibility is really high, that what you were stored there from your very young age, maybe you don't even consciously remember, it's still running the show. It's still affecting your behavior. It's still riding your behavior, whether it's something that you enjoy doing or you don't enjoy doing. When you cannot really explain why you are behaving in such a way, then I would highly suggest to go to the root cause of your subconscious mind and of your behavior. You might be surprised what is uncovering out there. Because let me give you an example. So I worked with a client, and obviously this is all anonymous. I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, but just to give you an example, she was very cautious and she felt like she didn't belong and she couldn't really find her way in the world or in the life. She felt like she was always somehow different, or she didn't know how to adjust herself into the reality that she was living. She felt like she was constantly an outsider. And what we uncovered during the hypnotherapy session was that she endured some trauma during her childhood, and that was still riding her self-belief and her ability to actually trust herself, because she was not able to trust herself since when she was very, very young age, she felt like she was betrayed from the people who were supposed to take care of her, which was mother and father. And that's why everything was unfolding in a way where she didn't trust. She didn't have this trust, which we naturally need to have as we are growing up. And since she didn't have that, she was all her experiences, all her reality was based on that and was reflecting back to her this deep, deep wound that was telling her that she was not enough, that she was not lovable, and that she was not actually wanted, right? This was the sad truth. But let me tell you, even if you've been through something like that, even if you don't know about it or you are aware of that and you have this wound, that doesn't mean that that has to kind of, overwrite everything for the rest of your life, because you can always go back to that and you can always rewrite those inner beliefs, these inner narratives. Because when you were just a child, obviously you needed that caregiving, you needed that love, you needed that protection. But now, since you are an adult, you can give that to yourself, and actually you owe it to yourself to give that to yourself, to prove it to yourself and to provide it for yourself, so you can actually move from there and you can do something with your life. You can achieve your goals, you can achieve your dreams. So don't lose your hope, no matter what happened. You can rise from it. And the more deep it actually goes, the more dark it actually goes from the experience, the more it gives you the possibility and opportunity to rise from it and use it in your favor and alchemize these feelings and alchemize these wounds and actually do something incredible with them. Because what unfortunately most of the people do, they never even dare to examine that. And I've had someone tell me, like, I would really love to do the inner work, I would really love to do the shadow work, but I am actually scared what I might uncover there. What if I uncover something that I was not prepared for? What if I uncover something that really I didn't remember, and I didn't remember it for a reason when it comes to abuse or something like that? And I completely understand that, but I want to ask you this question, actually. Would you rather uncover this darkness that perhaps happened to you? We don't know that, but if you already have that feeling that there is a big chance that it did happen to you, and would you rather face that and deal with that, or would you like to prefer close your eyes and pretend that nothing happened, but in the background this wound, this inner child wound and this really hard thing that happened to you is driving your life. It is driving how your life is going to be. So you can never actually do the things that you want to do, because this is actually holding you back from it. And it's holding you back from it because you are not putting awareness on it. And because you are not putting awareness on it, you are pretending it is not there. it will have power over you. So how do you remove power from something over you? You have to put your awareness on it, and you have to face it without trying to bypass it, without trying to numb it, without trying to pretend that it didn't happen. Because it did happen, but now the power is on you. The power and the decision is on you. What you're going to do about it. Are you going to face that and rise from that and then build your life accordingly how you want it, without these setbacks, without these constant things that are happening to you regardless, because the subconscious is running the show and it's trying to protect you no matter what, 24/7? Or do you want to face it and prove to yourself that you have the power right now and you can protect yourself and you can rise from it and you can actually change the narrative, change the perspective, and change your life going forward? So that's the only question I would ask you, because the option and the possibility is up to you. You always have the option. You remain the same, you remain in the pattern, you repeat the cycles, you go over and over again. It is the comfort zone. It is not comfortable, but still in some way or another you are in the comfort zone. Or you will rise to the occasion and you will face the fears, you will face the shadow, and you will actually prove to yourself that there was nothing to fear because it happened to you. I mean, it already happened to you, right? So even if you go back in your memories, back in the subconscious, back in the time, you are not reliving that. You are literally just trying to remove it from your subconscious mind, from actually the PowerPoint, so it doesn't affect you anymore in the way that it did up until this point. So that is why I mentioned in the beginning of the video that your beliefs about yourself, about your life, about your reality are more important than the actual reality, right? Because that's how you can change the reality. If you are at the point, in the moment in time where you are living reality that is not your desired one, but you are changing your beliefs and you actually believe that you can achieve something better, that you can do something better, that you can change your reality, that means you will. If you are now in a place where you are not happy with your reality, but at the same time you don't believe that it's possible to change it, or you don't have the means for it, or you will never change it, or you will always be in this cycle, that will keep perpetuating. So that's why I want you to really soak this belief about yourself and about your childhood, about your life, about anything and everything, that you have the choice and option to change whatever. Okay? You have the option and the possibility to change your perspective. And whatever happened to you, I know there is a lot of things bad happen to many of us, but you have the possibility to make something out of it. Okay? And most of all, you have the option and the possibility and the capability to empower yourself through it and to empower other people. You can use that, always alchemize that in your favor. Okay? So that's where I would like to leave us with. The most important thing is that you believe that something better is possible. And I always point my videos on this. For example, my video about everything is working in your favor, because even those dark nights of the soul, even those very hard things, even those hardships, even those rock bottoms are serving us in one way or another. And if we believe that, if we truly anchor this belief that this is how it works, then it will be true. If you obviously believe that this is the end, nothing is behind, you cannot do anything else, then that will be true as well. So that's why you need to work on your beliefs and really truly believe that everything is working for you and everything is possible and everything is possible to change in a very fast and short period of time. Okay, because those beliefs are more important than what happened to you, didn't happen to you, what you didn't do. In this very moment, you have the possibility and opportunity to decide. And what you're going to decide will really have the possibility and capability to change the trajectory of your life right now in this very moment. So start believing that, and start believing that everything can change, and change very, very fast if you decide, if you opt for it.